Alright, hello everyone. So today we will be doing our final lesson for Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard, The Sword of Summer by Rick Riordan. So for lesson 3, we will be covering Reading Literature Standard 9, which says, compare and contrast a fictional portrayal of a time, place, or character and a historical account of the same period as a means of understanding how authors of fiction use or alter history. We will be comparing and contrasting the Norse mythology as they are described in the book, and how they are described in actual Norse mythology. Then we will analyze why the author used and altered it. So, I know that Norse mythology is an actual historical event, and that, like most mythology, it's considered more of a myth, and that some people believe it's historical fact and some people don't. But I thought it would be kind of a fun way to look at what people believe is actual Norse mythology and what Rick Riordan did in the book to alter that Norse mythology. So first, for the assignment, we will be creating a Venn diagram to compare and contrast descriptions in our book to actual Norse mythology. You must use textual evidence for the book description. You will be using your computers to search your chosen Norse figure tomorrow in class. So please select one figure or place to put in your Venn diagram. So the options you have are Odin, the Valkyrie, the Nine Realms, Surt, Fenris Wolf, Frey, Ragnarok, Mimir, Nidavellir, I think, Hel, Jotunheim, and Thor. So some of these are mentioned a lot in the book, some are mentioned just a little bit, but they all are given a description of kind of what they are, who they are, and what factor or what element or what major effect they will have on Magnus and the plot of the book. You must have at least 4 points in each part of the Venn diagram. So you have to have 4 points in the book description, 4 parts in the actual Norse mythology description, and 4 points in the similar section. So for my example, I chose to do Loki. He is kind of not the main evil guy in Magnus, but he is one of the more evil gods in the book. So in the book description, he appears in Magnus's dreams quite a lot. He has blonde hair and wears a Red Sox shirt. He is working with the Jotnar to fight against the gods. We don't know everything because this is only the first book in the series, but we know that the demigods are preparing to fight in Ragnarok, and that Loki is siding with the Jotnar to be on their side over the gods' side during Ragnarok. We know that Loki and his children spy and trick the demigods at Hotel Valhalla to cause destruction. So it mentions a few of the demigods that he or his children have affected. He's the father of the Fenris Wolf. That is the Magnus's kind of main evil counterpart in this first book. Then in actual Norse mythology, he is. Most Norse mythology say that Loki is a god, but others say he was a giant. So we know, when I did my research for this, I found out that Loki he's the son of 2 giants from Jotunheim, I think is how you say it, but he was taken in by Odin as a blood brother and turned into a god of mischief. But some North say he's an actual god, and some say that he's a giant that just has god abilities. Whereas in the book he was stated just as a god. In Norse mythology, he's never given a concrete physical description. There is lots of drawings, lots of pictures that people think he looked like, but there's no actual physical description of him. In most of the Norse mythology stories, he is often helping Odin and Thor, but he's helping them, but it's usually because a personal motive is mixed into helping them. And then lastly, also in the stories in Norse mythology, Loki tricks his children and other gods into doing his bidding. And so some of the similarities they have in both is he is the trickster god, so he's the god of mischief. He is an honorary god, or so Odin's blood brother. So like I was saying before, he was taken in by Odin as the blood brother, but he's not really considered a full-on god because he was taken in by a god and made one, not just born that way. In both, he is Fenrir's father. Don't ask me how that happened. I don't know how he became the father of a wolf, but that's just how Norse mythology is for some things, I guess. And then in both books, he is a shapeshifter. So once you guys have finished the Venn diagram, we will be writing a 2-page paper using the information from your Venn diagram. So you should have a paragraph for the introduction. You should introduce the following an idea from each paragraph and to give kind of your main reason for this essay. Your second paragraph will be the book description. So you're going to take the 4 points you had in the book description of your Venn diagram and use those in this paragraph to show that description of the thing you picked. Your third paragraph, is going to be the mythology description. So after you've done your research, the 4 points you had in your Norse mythology description is going to be used in this paragraph. Then you're going to have the compare/similarities paragraph. So you're going to talk about the 4 points you had in the middle of your Venn diagram to make this paragraph. Your next paragraph will be about why the author used and altered this. So this is more kind of explaining your idea about why you think the author used some of the actual Norse mythology and kept it the same, and why he picked some and changed it a different way. And then your final paragraph will be the conclusion, as usual, where you're going to just kind of tell me an overall summary about each of the paragraphs and give me your concluding statement. And that is all I have for Lesson 3. We will get started on this tomorrow. It may take a day or two for everyone to do their research and get their essays done, but hopefully you guys will have fun with it. All right, thank you.